What hurts more, being born without arms and legs, or being born with a healthy body, but never having the courage to truly live? There was once a little boy who cried until he had no tears left, who begged God to let him die, who asked himself over and over again, "Why me?" Yet, years later, that same boy would go on to inspire hundreds of millions of people around the world. His name was Nick Vujicic. This is not a fairy tale. This is a true story. And by the time you reach the end, you may never look at your own life the same way again. On December 4th, 1982, in Melbourne, Australia, a delivery room that should have been filled with joy suddenly fell silent. A baby had just been born, but he had no arms and no legs. The doctors stood frozen in shock. Nick's father was a pastor. His mother was a nurse. They had prepared everything for the arrival of their child, except for this unimaginable moment. Nick was born with an extremely rare condition called tetra-amelia syndrome, a disorder that prevents the limbs from developing. The only limb he had was a tiny foot with 2 toes. Years later, Nick would jokingly call it, "My little chicken drumstick." From his earliest years, Nick had to endure something even more painful than his physical condition. He faced pity, he faced stares, he faced cruel laughter. At school, many children looked at him as if he were something strange. Some even asked questions that shattered a little boy's heart. "Are you a monster? Why do you look like that?" Every day at school became a battle, not because of homework, but because of loneliness. Many nights, Nick cried himself to sleep. He couldn't understand why he had been born this way. He couldn't imagine any future for himself. At the age of 10, Nick made the heartbreaking decision to end his life. He lowered himself into a bathtub, hoping the pain would finally disappear. But in that moment, he pictured the faces of his parents. He thought, "If I die, they will suffer for the rest of their lives." That single thought saved his life. It wasn't the moment everything suddenly became easier. It was simply the moment Nick chose to live one more day, then another, and another, until one day he read about another person living with a disability who had chosen to live a meaningful life. For the first time, Nick realized he wasn't alone. More importantly, he discovered that suffering could become strength. Instead of asking, "Why me?" he began asking, "If I'm still alive, what purpose does my life have?" That one question changed everything. Nick learned to get back up after falling. He learned to brush his own teeth, to get dressed by himself, to type on a computer, to write, to swim. He even learned to play golf and surf. Things most people believed were impossible. He accomplished them one by one, not because he was stronger than everyone else, but because he refused to let his circumstances decide his future. At 17, Nick gave his first motivational talk at a small school. He shared his pain, his despair, and the journey of learning to accept himself. When he finished speaking, a teenage girl ran toward him in tears. She hugged him and whispered, "Thank you. Today, I decided not to end my life. In that moment, Nick realized something extraordinary. None of his suffering had been meaningless. Every painful experience had become a bridge, leading someone else back to hope. One small speech became dozens. Dozens became hundreds. Soon, Nick was speaking to thousands, then tens of thousands. Eventually, millions. He traveled to more than 70 countries. He spoke before presidents, business leaders, students, families, and people standing on the edge of despair. The irony was impossible to ignore. A man without arms was embracing the hearts of millions. A man without legs was helping countless people find the courage to move forward. Nick often says, "If I fail, I try again. And if I fail again, I keep trying. As long as you never give up, there is always hope." Life also surprised him in the most beautiful way. Nick married Kane Miyahara. Together, they built a loving family and welcomed healthy children into the world. A future that young Nick once believed would never be possible. There is one truth that many of us forget. We keep telling ourselves, "I'll start living when I have more money, when I have more time, when I have more opportunities, when life becomes easier." Nick Vujicic had almost none of those things. He had no arms to reach for opportunity, no legs to walk toward his dreams. But he possessed something far more powerful, a heart that refused to surrender. Life will always hand us circumstances we never chose. We don't choose where we're born. We don't choose every hardship. We don't choose every tragedy. But we always have one choice: how we respond. We can allow adversity to define us, or we can transform adversity into our greatest strength. If a man born without arms and legs can become a source of hope for millions, then perhaps the greatest obstacle in our own lives isn't our circumstances. It's the limits we've accepted in our own minds. So if you're feeling exhausted today, if you failed, if you're wondering whether there's any hope left, remember Nick Vujicic, because his life proves one unforgettable truth. Miracles don't begin when life becomes perfect. Miracles begin the moment you decide never to give up. If this story touched your heart, gave you hope, or helped you see life from a new perspective, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to support our channel and help us continue sharing meaningful stories. Thank you so much for watching.